Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is D. In today's video, we're going to do my entire Bruce Willis collection. So this is everything in my collection that stars Bruce Willis. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at what I have in my personal collection from Bruce Willis. And then again, we're going to go back and compare to the last two videos where his filmography sits so far. Now, I'm going to be honest right off the rip. I like Bruce Willis' filmography, the early filmography. Bruce Willis, later in his career, started pumping out a lot of B movies and a lot of movies that wasn't all that good. But the stuff that was earlier in his career, Bruce Willis had a strong career earlier. But as his career tapered off, it wasn't as good. So his filmography is the weakest so far, in my opinion. Your opinion might be different. But let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at Bruce Willis' filmography from what I have. And it is a total of, 40 titles, just like Lawrence Fishburne, 40 titles. So let's go ahead. We're going to compare him to Lawrence Fishburne. We can't compare him to Samuel L. Jackson. To be honest with you guys, I know, just get used to some rants in these videos because there's a lot to talk about. For me personally, I do, like I said before, I like Bruce Willis's filmography early. But let's face it, if it was not for Die Hard, Bruce Willis wouldn't be the star that he is. And that's the true standout in his entire filmography. Not to say that's the only, he don't have good movies. I'm not saying that. But you take away Die Hard, and that knocks Bruce Willis down a lot of points. It just don't knock him down 5, 10 points. You remove Die Hard from his filmography, you knocking him down like 20, 25 points. Let's dive in and take a look at what we got, and you tell me at the end. First, we're going to start with Colin Farrell and Bruce Willis in Heart's War. That was a solid war movie. Bruce Willis do got a couple good solid war movies under his belt. Armageddon. My bad. You can't. This is a strong one in his filmography too. Armageddon. For the life of me, I'm not really understand why there's no 4K for this. I get it. But let me tell you something about me. I know there's a lot of reasons why movies don't come to 4K or Blu-ray or whatever, but I'm a consumer. I don't care why it's not on 4K. As a consumer, it's my job to bitch when it's not on 4K. I know somebody's going to jump in the comment section, oh, well, it's not on 4K because blah, 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 blah. I don't care about all that. I'm a customer. I want a 4K. I'm a consumer. As a consumer, you shouldn't have to care about the particulars as to why the shit you want ain't on the shelf. You need to be there to bitch when it's not on the shelf. So, I don't know why the core and Deep Impact got a 4K over Armageddon. I know why, but again, as a consumer, it's my job to bitch about it not being on 4K. I understand, go ahead, guys. Let me know why it's not on 4K. But you can give me the reason. I know the reason. The same reason why The Abyss isn't on 4K and the same reason why True Lies isn't on 4K. I know they're coming, but again, they're not on 4K when we want them. So we bitch. Catch 44. Again, another generic movie. Just okay. Just barely watchable. So far, you got one just watchable. Death Wish, this movie was, you know what, a lot of people trashed this one. I actually thought this was okay. It can't compete with none of the Charles Bronson Death Wishes. Maybe it competes with the last one, Death Wish 5, but this was just okay. In my opinion, for a modern audience, this should have had a lot more murder, and not a lot more bodies. There should have been a lot more violence in this movie. Considering it's Bruce Willis, considering it's a modern time, this should have had a lot more violence. Murder. The Expendables 2. I like The Expendables as a whole series. And here it is. The Die Hard series. This is the Steelbook collection. This is all the Die Hards. This is pretty much Bruce Willis wrapped up in a nutshell. Pretty much. Again, he got other good stuff. I'm not saying that, but and I think everybody got their franchise moment in their career. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got that one movie or that one series that really defined them. But if you look at the filmography as a whole, it really doesn't define them. But that's the standout. That you say Bruce Willis, I say Die Hard. That's just the way that goes. All right, G.I. Joe Retaliation, B-movie, Fortress, and you're going to see quite a few of these. The Fifth Element, banger. Absolute banger. Glass, and again, this was just okay to me. Pulp Fiction, we don't even talk about Pulp Fiction because everybody knows about that. Reds and Reds 2. I like Reds, and I like both of these Reds movies. Some people didn't like them all that much. I liked them. I thought they was pretty good for what they were. The Last Boy Scout, I dug it. Marauders, this is a really not so good movie. Mercury Rising, a banger. Again, this is early in his career. This is a banger. Mercury Rising. Motherless Brooklyn. This caught me off guard. When I knew this was going to be good because of the cast. I mean, you can't go wrong. Look, Edward Norton, Bruce Willis. I mean, you got Alec Baldwin, Willem Dafoe. You got, I mean, you can't go wrong with this. Look at this cast. So that was a good movie. It really caught me off guard how good it was. Perfect Stranger. This was solid. Hostage. Hudson Hawk. Dug it. Alpha Dog. Bonfire of the Vanities. That was just, it should have been better with the cast, but it was a real mid movie, but it should have been better. I mean, Tom Hanks, Bruce Willis, Melanie Griffin, it should have been, it was all right. Banger right here. Death Becomes Her. Absolute banger. This had it all. This movie had it all. This was funny. It was great. I loved it. That was a good movie. 16 Blocks, this was okay. I mean, Most Def, you know what I'm saying, Bruce Willis, it was all right. This was a good one right here. This was a real good one. This is another one that caught me off guard. I saw this one. I bought this one without knowing anything about it, and man, Lucky Number 11. This is a good movie right here. If you slept on this one, don't. This is a good movie. To me, this is one of Bruce Willis' best movies. And I say that every time you hear me talk about this movie. I give this movie just as much hype, and I talk highly about this movie the same way I do a movie like Hoodlum. And that's Bruce Willis' Last Man Standing. Man, what a great movie. Again, it's not a big spectacle of a movie, but it's a tight, well-written, well-paced, well-thought-out movie, and it's well-casted. Fantastic movie. This is a banger. I would love to get a 4K of this. Even though I don't think, a solid Blu-ray, I'm not sure if this is on Blu-ray. I'm not sure. I didn't look for it, but if this is on a higher resolution format and I do see it, this is one that I would definitely upgrade from DVD to a higher format. I like this movie. And I think that movie would probably benefit from at least a Blu-ray. He was in Roseanne Season 1. This is the complete series. I dug Roseanne, especially when I was young. Roseanne was a good show. Very good show. They was the Connors, they was like the opposite of the Huxtables. So you got the Huxtables on one end and the Connors on the other end. I dug it. Sin City. The Siege. Although he didn't have a super big role in this, but he did have an important role in this one. Fantastic movie. This was a great movie, by the way. Denzel, man. Let's see here. Annette Bening, Denzel Washington, Bruce Willis. Who else is in here? Tony Shalhoub. This was a good movie. And The Sixth Sense. I dug this movie. I thought it was fantastic. Everybody thought this movie was fantastic. When I saw this movie, I had high hopes for M. Night. And don't get me wrong, like I said before, M. Night, for me, his filmography as a whole is about 50-50. That's where he's at with me. I could, depending on which way the wind blows, I say he got a strong filmography, or I could say he got an okay filmography. But he got a lot of movies in there that I wouldn't say were bad. They was weird. A lot of his movies they're paced in a weird way, and they're just weird. Not all of them, but a handful of them is kind of weird. But he do got some good ones. And I tell you what, that knock at the cabin, that restored my faith in him. Definitely. So if he could keep turning them out like that, and his casting choice for that movie and casting Dave Bautista was fantastic. Very, very good cast right there. Next up is a good Bruce Willis movie, Surrogates. Fantastic. I mean, this is one of those movies where you like the movie, you like the acting, you like the actors, but you like the ideal of the movie. You watch a movie sometime, you say, you know what? The movie was alright, but then the concept of that movie was incredible. Some movies, the concept of it is better than the actual movie. This is a movie where the concept was really good, but the movie was good too. Survive the Night. This is one of the later Bruce Willis movies that I think is okay. It's a B movie, but I'm not even sure if this one went to theaters. But if it did, it's still, to me, in my opinion, this is not a movie. It's a B movie, but it was alright. It wasn't. Out of a lot of the B movies that Bruce Willis got, this is one of the better ones. Tears of the Sun, banger. This is a really bad Bruce Willis movie. Ugh, jeez. Trauma Center. Again, I'm a Bruce Willis fan. So if I see a Bruce Willis movie, even if it's a B movie, a lot of these will be in the bargain bins or something, I'll grab them because I am a huge Bruce Willis fan. So you hear me talking about his filmography, don't take it the wrong way. I am a fan of Bruce Willis, but I got to keep it 100 with his filmography, though. 12 Monkeys. Fantastic movie. And Unbreakable. Great movie. So that's Bruce Willis's filmography. That's everything that I got starring Bruce Willis. Let's run it back and then we'll discuss. Unbreakable. Trauma Center. Survive the Night. That was alright. The Sixth Sense. Sin City. He was in season 1 of Roseanne. Lucky Number 11. Good movie. 16 Blocks. Death Becomes Her. Alpha Dog. Motherless Brooklyn. Marauders, G.I. Joe Retaliation, The Expendables 2, Heart's War, Death Wish, Catch 44, 12 Monkeys, Tears of the Sun, Surrogates, The Siege, Last Man Standing, Bonfire of the Vanities, Hudson Hawk, Hostage, Perfect Stranger, Mercury Rising, The Last Boy Scout, Reds 1 and 2, Pulp Fiction, Glass, The Fifth Element, Fortress, the Die Hard collection. I do believe, I want to say it's like 6 of them, 5 or 6 of them, yeah. And Armageddon. So now that's the Bruce Willis filmography. That's what I have. That's 40 items right there. Now for me, on the Bruce Willis filmography versus Sam Jackson versus Lawrence Fishburne, so far it's the weakest of the bunch. But when I say it's the weakest of that bunch, that's saying something. Bruce Willis do have a pretty strong filmography, don't get me wrong. But again, his filmography, as he aged, it got worse. It didn't get better like, say, Sam Jackson's. Lawrence Fishburne, as they got older, their filmographies got stronger. Bruce Willis's, as he got older, his filmography went down. So that's all I'm saying. Again, Bruce Willis, strong filmography, but again, I got to keep it 100. Between Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Jackson, and that's where we at so far, his is the overall weaker of the bunch, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And again, I ain't going to tell you who's next. We got a good one coming up next, though.